Welcome back to the BroadBoys podcast. I'm Cade, this is Micah, and I need to start, unfortunately, with a very sincere and heartfelt apology. Last episode, I was very confident. I said some things that I was very wrong about. And I remember, you asked, should we look it up? And I said, no, we will be ignorant, we will be arrogant. But it's true, a multiplayer game did win Game of the Year. It's a game I actually like very much.
Yes.
Overwatch in 2016 won Game of the Year, which,
I feel vindicated.
Yeah. You can say it's my bad, but in my defense, you guys probably didn't remember either with just the state of the game as it is right now.
That is true. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
Your feelings about Overwatch? And...
Well, okay, here's my history. Here's my history of the game. Game comes out. I don't play it season 1. I remember I joined season 2. Joined in season 2 when Overwatch 1 came out. Why are you shaking your head at that?
No. Not an OG.
Okay, yeah. So, pretty close. And then I played very consistently up in probably about a year and a half before Overwatch 2 came out, if I'm being honest. So, I played it for a long time.
When did Overwatch 2 come out?
Almost 2 years ago at this point, I think. 2022, maybe 20? No, they had their 1 year anniversary event already. And
Okay.
that was in October. So it's been almost 2 years.
It's been a while.
So I stopped playing very consistently about a year and a half before the Overwatch 2 came out. And then Overwatch 2 came out, and I was excited for the launch, and I played it. And I still play it off and on, if I'm being honest. I still play it off and on. Some people I know would say otherwise in either direction, but I am not opposed to booting up the game again and still playing it.
It's installed. I have it installed. I just haven't
yes.
opened it.
But in Overwatch 1, I believe I was 5-star bronze border on Xbox One.
That doesn't mean a whole lot to me.
Yeah, basically each star is 100 levels. So I was level, if you're including my Xbox and PC, I was probably level 600 or 700 or something like that, because I got a couple stars on PC as well.
Wow.
But I've played the game a lot.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot about it. And I knew it won Game of the Year, because I had the Game of the Year edition.
Yeah.
But, for some reason, it fell out of my head.
It's because it's just a really mid game.
Well, right now, I would agree.
So I played it a year or two after it came out. And I wasn't a huge fan of how it was then. The 6v6 was rough.
Okay, why?
It just always felt so clustered. The team dynamic without having a team you were playing with wasn't very existent. The maps were too small for the amount of players on them.
I would disagree with you there, but I'm willing to let you just keep talking.
Well, that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Now, the biggest reason I say that is because there was a free version of a very similar game on Steam.
Paladins?
Called Paladins.
You played a lot of Paladins, I bet.
I played a lot of Paladins. I was very high ranked in Paladins.
Okay. All right.
Which was always 5v5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did it have roles?
Yeah, it had roles.
It was just I got it.
It was an Overwatch clone.
Yes.
But it was 5v5.
Yes.
Which is why, when Overwatch 2 came out and it went to 5v5, I was like, I'm just saying Paladins did it first.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, what drew me to Overwatch at the beginning was its characters, and it was genuinely a lot of fun.
The characters.
Yeah, the characters. The different abilities, and hero shooters weren't really a thing back then. You had TF2.
Yeah.
But
well, you had plenty of
hero shooters.
I don't necessarily want to call them hero shooters because TF2 is definitely role and class type.
Yes.
Instead of specific heroes.
Well, shooters always had, even if you look at Call of Duty, you had classes, which were just different guns, sniper.
So I would not consider those to be hero shooters. So you might be right. The amount of hero shooters is probably small.
Yeah, and they had really iconic characters. In late 2010s, Hanzo main was a slur. Tracer, was very iconic and stuff. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. No. I'm
was a ton of fun.
sure that most people would recognize an Overwatch character even if they've never played Overwatch.
Yeah. I mean, Tracer,
For
Genji,
many reasons.
Yeah, I mean, their models were definitely used in many innovative ways.
Yes,
So,
plenty of innovative ways.
yeah. Well, that didn't really play into my opinion at the time. But it was, I mean, I had a great time with Overwatch 1.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the loot boxes, which, you know, you could say is, you know, liking microtransactions, but
No, I think loot boxes are fine. There are plenty that I've enjoyed.
I mean, you get one per level up, so
Yep.
it didn't, and it was all cosmetic, so it didn't feel like pay to win. And there was a lot of cosmetics where, you know, the events come around and you're like, all right, I can get those cosmetics.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's fun. Overwatch 2, well, all right, let me say this. I have always felt like with Overwatch, there's always been this sense of wasted potential for me.
Yeah, of course there is. They didn't do anything with it since 2016. They cut a player out. At least they've made new maps, but...
Yeah, I mean, their focus has always been the core gameplay. And I will say Overwatch 2 core gameplay loop is way better than Overwatch 1's.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially at the end of Overwatch 1, you had the double shield meta, which was just a pain to play with. And Overwatch 2's core gameplay does feel more fun. You feel more impactful as a player.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Like, don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed every time I've booted it up and played it.
Yeah. But there's only so long just the core gameplay can get by. And I mean, you know, even when you look at other games whose main focus is core gameplay, they have compelling events and compelling skins that you don't need to necessarily buy.
New characters, character changes.
Well, new characters are still in Overwatch 2, and all the new characters have been really fun.
Yeah. It just feels slow. Like, the release of new content is slow.
It's always felt that way. And I think that's less the Overwatch dev team's fault and more just the Activision Blizzard stuff. But some decisions that were made, I was a huge advocate for Overwatch 2 PvE would be really cool, especially after the initial trailer. They showed
I was excited.
They showed skill trees, replayable missions, stuff like that, and then, you know, it didn't launch with it.
Yeah.
And then when it came out, it didn't have any skill trees. A lot of the RPG mechanics that they specifically made to Overwatch 2, you know, the number there,
yep.
It just doesn't feel like it deserves the number 2.
No, it doesn't. It's like Overwatch 1.5.
Yeah, that's fine. And it feels just like a way to ship the same product you had
again
under your new monetization system.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, as a player, it hurt. You know, just be like, wow, now I can't even get skins from loot boxes. Leveling up doesn't really do anything. Well, you don't even level up. You just level up in your battle pass.
Yep.
And I don't know, it just, the mini rewards that you would get for playing kind of don't mean anything to me, at least anymore. And, you know, they just had a new collab with Transformers and the skins look awesome. But, you know, it's like, it doesn't motivate me enough to shill out $50 for.
No, it shouldn't motivate anyone to shell out $50 for. And like, it's not. Why would you pay the price of a full game for a skin that took, you know, 5 people 20 hours to make?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not saying the game's not enjoyable. I mean, when I play it, I still have fun. I mean, as much as
no, I don't think like you said, I don't think there's anything wrong with the core gameplay loop. It's just there's nothing new. There's no reason to keep coming back. The events are kind of lame.
Yeah, each season it feels like, you know, and even the new content they have, they don't fully launch it. It's all in waves or trickled down. You know, they did a hero mastery thing, and they do like 3 new heroes that they throw into that every single season and stuff. You know, I think it could still be Game of the Year material if the team was able to put more stuff into it.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I don't know. Let's go back to Paladins for a second.
Okay.
So Paladins been free to play, right? And you can always purchase skins with real money. But there are things called mastery skins that you get from just playing, which most people rock anyway because, you know, it shows that you're good at a specific character.
Yeah.
So every single character had like a level 50 mastery skin, a level 100 mastery skin, but then you also had specific mastery emotes. So you had an emote that would display your character level or stuff like that, which was super fun because, you know, you could play a character and show off that you were better at that character than someone else because you had the mastery levels.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you don't really get anything for playing Overwatch now.
No, you don't. And that's why I
get angry now. Well, I mean, I've always gotten angry, but now it's like all I have is the anger.
Yeah, like the seasonal progression doesn't feel like it's there. Like I'm playing for a rank that means not a whole lot.
Well, you would play to get a rank to either, you know, if you're masters or grandmasters to try and keep getting better because or you would play to get the rank, to get the points, to get your golden guns, which are now your jade guns, which, you know, that's something they should have done in Overwatch 1. In my opinion, they should have added more options for your competitive points, but, you know, whatever. For me, the Overwatch 2 launch really burned me. Like, specifically the PvE, because I was putting, like, so much, like, all right, you know, not bootlicking, but, you know, like sucking up, just like, all right, when PvE comes out, it'll be worth it and it'll be fine. You know, it's like, I don't know why they did this weird launch, but, you know, we'll get PvE at the end of the day and it'll be like this.
And then they didn't.
And then they didn't do it. And again, I think it comes back to the spending money at Blizzard and Activision. Was it Bobby Kotick? Is that the CEO's name? That got a huge exit paycheck.
Massive paycheck.
Disgusting.
I know.
Disgusting. For running the company he did, I can't believe he got away.
Running it into the ground, and then they're like, we'll let you go for millions. And it's like, oh my goodness.
And now that Xbox has it, I doubt they'll really put anything else into it. Well, I know they already cut making future PvE content.
Yep.
Which, you know.
Well, yes and no. They said they might do more of like the space one that they did.
Yeah, they'll do like the little events.
Yeah, but they're not.
The whole reason they marketed Overwatch 2 was for, hey, we're making this new engine. We're PvE. You're going to have better enemies. You're going to have a more smooth, replayable, you know, gameplay thing. You'll have your PvP option, but also you'll be able to play casually with friends. Because at the end of the day, I think I enjoyed playing Overwatch casually way more than I do competitively.
I mean, I like to see my rank go up, but...
Yeah, but...
I never played competitive all that serious either, though, so...
Yeah. I mean, now it's like you need to take games so seriously. And it kind of ruins a lot of games. For me, like, I love just booting up a random game that I haven't played in years, you know? Like, I haven't played Valorant in a very long time. Yeah. But I would still boot it up just to screw around.
Yeah, I mean, I still boot up Valorant occasionally and just jump in a competitive match.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I still play to win. I'm not playing to lose for anybody.
Yeah, but now the culture surrounding it is like you need to take it so seriously.
Yeah, I know.
You need to take it so seriously. And
especially when you're grinding through, like, your silver or something, and you're like, man, I'm just hard stuck. I'm like, I believe you, because there are plenty of people who don't really care. Because you're silver. Get over it.
Yeah, man. I don't know. You gotta just take those ways. You just gotta take that on the chin.
Yeah.
Especially in those lower ranks, you just gotta be like, "Well, this is where I am."
Yep.
Just keep going. But that's not what people do.
No, it's not. They take it way too seriously for being bronze and silver. And
yeah, I think it's fine to take it seriously. You know, if you're a bronze or silver player and you have a good time taking the game seriously and competitive and trying really hard to improve, that's awesome. Yeah. I'm happy for you to. But you know, getting so angry at people.
No, I know.
Confuses me in a way. You know, and I've gotten angry at people before as well.
Well, yeah, but they're definitely
mainly my friends, not really strangers.
The only time I get mad at strangers is when they're deliberately trolling in a match.
I just think that's funny.
I mean, it's funny, except for when, you know, like, you were winning, but now you're not.
All right,
because they were trolling.
If it's like a close game and then they throw, then, you know, it's,
But if you're 10 down already, whatever.
Yeah.
You can troll. Who cares?
Yeah, it's so... I'm trying to think of, like, a formula to get me back into Overwatch.
There isn't one.
No, there is. There definitely is. There's a formula.
That feels way too desperate. It feels way too desperate for a game. There are other...
What are you saying?
I'm saying there are other games you could play. Like,
but, like, I mean, people... I mean, I'm still attached to the, like... the IP, the way that the maps feel, the way the game looks, the characters, and stuff. I still like those characters.
Then just boot it up with your friends every now and then.
I mean, that's what I do.
Then you're already in it. You don't need a formula.
I mean, would I like to get back to where I was, where I was I would get home and I would want to play Overwatch? Like, yeah, I want the game to get back to there.
But why? Well, yeah, you want the game to get back there. You shouldn't have to have a formula to enjoy the game like that.
Well, no, it's not a mindset. It's more of like, what could the game devs do?
Well, the game devs could,
get more money.
I don't think they need more money.
You don't. Well, okay.
I mean, I think the devs could be paid more.
Speak on that.
But
why do you think they don't need more money?
No, correction. I think the devs could be paid more to care, but I don't think more money needs to be funneled into the game necessarily.
I think they would need I think they need more money for a bigger team to. They got rid of their whole PvE division, so if they have more money, they can.
Yeah. So they should have more money, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? When your development team for anything is creating a product, right? You need to have. I think there needs to be less red tape.
Mm-hmm.
Which has always been an Activision problem. Is they're always pandering to the publishers instead of their own.
The shareholders.
Yeah. They're always pandering to the shareholders. It's the same issue that Ubisoft has. They always pander to their shareholders, and so their games come out mediocre because they have all of the things that every shareholder wanted.
It's safe.
But it
doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. And so I don't necessarily think it needs an infusion of money because it's all going to be the same watered down. It was safe for the shareholders.
Okay, so let's take away the money aspect.
Yeah.
If I were to create a planet, and I'm in no means a game dev.
You better be listening.
Yeah, but what I know is that they dropped the PvE team because they were realizing that it wouldn't make them enough money as just putting more into the PvP, and by putting more, I mean just skins. Because they are not going to change their content schedule. It's going to be a hero every other season, a map every other season. I don't think dropping the PvE team is going to speed that up at all. No. I just think they're taking away without adding anything else.
Yeah.
But if I were to create a game plan, right? Number one, bring back PvE. But it's not going to happen. But
even if they were mediocre bots and it was just a wave defense, like something to start.
Well, I don't know. I think at this point that wouldn't save it. I think you need to bring back RPG elements.
I mean, yeah, but there needs to be like a start. Like you need to show the community that you're actively doing something. I don't know,
but they need to show that they're actively doing something besides repeated events and gameplay changes.
But they're worried it's going to be like a Fortnite thing, where Fortnite was built off of this paid game for Save the World, which I played and I really enjoyed, and then they got rid of Save the World.
Yes.
And then just made the Battle Royale, which was free to play.
Because it made them millions of money.
Is the same thing that Overwatch is doing. They realized, PvE is cool, but it doesn't make money and doesn't retain players.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it would retain players if they added RPG elements, but
I think they're gaining enough new players because it's Overwatch.
They are.
That they don't care. Because the only people they're going to lose are their long-term players who wanted a reason to stay, the players that already milked them for their money.
And I think they're not losing that audience. I don't think, I think something big would need to happen for the core Overwatch audience to really transition to another game.
So in reality, they lose nothing by cutting PvE.
No, they don't. And that's why they did it.
Yeah.
Because they're money focused, but
Yeah, then that's...
I'm just saying, for a lot of people, Overwatch is seen as really a laughing stock.
Yeah.
It kind of is.
It is. If you're still playing Overwatch, people might think you're funny.
Well, I don't think that.
You're funny.
Okay, Micah thinks that. But, when the launch came out, the whole joke was, Overwatch 1.5.
Yep.
And even now, I still wouldn't say it's still not Overwatch 2.
It's still Overwatch 1.5.
It's still not Overwatch 2.
So I'm okay that you like the game. I like the game. I'll still boot it up and play it, right? The trouble I have is the people who, in the long term, defend the decisions they make.
Yes.
Those are the people that frustrate me because you are enabling companies like Activision, like Ubisoft, I'm really blanking on other ones that do the same thing.
MiHoYo, the
Yeah.
Gacha.
Yep, gotcha games. Like you're EA, you are enabling this sort of watered down content because you like the IP.
Well, that's kind of you're just speaking to whales. Really?
I mean, yeah, but the whales are the reason it continues.
Yeah, exactly. So you're just speaking to whales. You're
Yeah,
saying, hey,
if you're paying a whole lot of money into a game that isn't changing or developing because the skin is cool, you might want to tone it down a little bit.
I mean, you can spend your money however you want, but
Yeah.
you are actively fueling it.
You're actively enabling companies to do this.
Yeah. And that's just how it is.
Well, yeah.
It's, I mean, with the battle pass system we got, and we talked about it before, but
Yeah.
with the battle pass system we have right now, nothing else would really
Yeah.
incentivize a company to a company to really go anywhere else.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, though, Battle Pass is fine for a free-to-play game. It's whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, I mean, Overwatch 2 is free.
It's free. It's free to play. So, and there's no pay-to-win aspect, really. I mean, some players might say a skin might have a different visual.
Maybe an emote, but but they learned their lesson with the Junkrat laying down emote.
Yeah.
So, typically emotes aren't like that anymore. But, I mean, I think they could still bring players back if it felt like there was
something new
if they were rewarded for playing more. I don't know, I mean, with the PvE, I keep coming back to the PvE. That was such an embarrassment.
Yeah, it
was such a flop.
I know,
like, because even like you're saying, like the people who defend and stuff, like I was like, hey guys, don't worry about the Overwatch 2 launch. It's gonna
have
PvE. Once PvE comes, I'm really looking forward to PvE. That's what's bringing me here. I can't wait for it. Just wait for the PvE. And then it didn't. It
didn't happen.
And now I'm out. I'm like, I won't defend what they're doing. Some people still do, and that's different from still playing the game. I think you can still play the game and be like, yeah, the company dropped the ball, which they did. If you say otherwise, I don't know. I don't know.
Like you can blame leadership. You can do whatever. The whole
the game it dropped the ball.
Yep.
That's just how it was.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And I wish it could get back to glory. I mean, it won't go back to how it was, but it needs to enter a new glory age.
I just don't know. Maybe a different game mode or something, but they're also kind of stale. I don't know.
What's stale?
The whole like push genre of head to head. I don't know, like payload stuff like that. Like it's the TF2 formula. I don't dislike it. I play those games. It's fine. I just wish there was a different 5v5 objective base that doesn't.
That's not a tactical shooter.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm fine with the tactical shooter. It's just it feels like everything's the same. I would like a new sort of game mode. Like we all know King of the Hill, Capture the Point, whatever, in whatever variations of those things.
Well, the finals tried that. I
like the finals.
Well, I like the finals too.
I like the finals. Have you seen some of the new updates that they've done?
I haven't seen the recent stuff.
It's really cool. I really like what they're doing, and players are very creative. Like they put all the goo boat is pretty cool.
I have no idea what the goo boat is.
So you build this structure out of your goo, right?
Yeah. And
then you break it, so it's just a floating one. But then you put a levitating bomb or whatever.
Oh, and then it floats?
And then it floats, and your whole group can get on it.
And you can have like the objective in there.
You can push it forward.
That's really funny.
It's so funny. It's so cool.
I do love the physics.
I love physics-based games.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like with the Overwatch thing, you just gotta find a way to get people to love your IP. I think you need to focus on the IP even more.
I mean, they love the IP. The IP is its own thing, right? Yeah. And it's the same. It's the same with like what Valorant's doing. There's a whole story with every season, and people like that. They like being able to resonate with their characters and whatever. But
yeah, I don't know. It's so tough. Because I want. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I've changed, but nowadays, like I don't really play that many competitive games. I still boot up Street Fighter 6. And I still play that unranked, but I don't play that game for the objective of getting to Masters or anything.
Yeah.
I'm playing it to just play the game and have fun.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be super into a lot of the competitive games, CS, Valorant, Rocket League.
Like I used to care so much about rank, and now I genuinely could not give two craps.
The only game that I'm actively playing that I care about rank is Hearthstone.
And that's just right now. It might transition later.
Yeah, obviously it might transition. I mean, it feels good to be like gold or diamond or whatever at the end of a season, but
yeah, I will say hitting a very high, like hitting one of those super high ranks, that feels great.
Yeah, it felt good.
That feels awesome.
When I stopped playing Rocket League, I was Diamond 2 on mouse and keyboard.
Okay.
Which felt very good.
Yeah.
And I stopped because I got tired of the grind, and I felt bad because I felt like I could do better on controller, but every time I used a controller, I was so bad at the game.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did not do that well in Rocket League.
Yeah.
But,
I don't remember. I think I only peaked in gold or gold Nova for CS:GO.
Okay.
And then platinum for Valorant.
Hey, that was what I ended up with
Yeah,
in Valorant too.
It all feels like pretty middle of the road.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I feel like when I'm playing with other people or even with randoms, it's like the rank's the end all be all, but I'm kind of out in terms of like,
I just can't put that.
All right, here's the deal though. I think if I did care, I could still reach the higher ranks.
Yeah, I think I could too.
That's arrogance. But,
well, there's a part of me that's like, I really want to get into a competitive game where I feel like I want to hit those ranks.
Yeah.
Right? But I haven't had a competitive experience where I'm like, this is the game I want to grind up.
Last game for me with that was Street Fighter. Or even, you could even say speedrunning for that too. Because I speedran Yellow Taxi Goes Room for a while. Yeah. It was about the chase of like, hey, I want to get better and better. And I'm having so much fun with this. I want to keep getting the time down. Yeah. And, so I guess I've had that experience in the last year a bit. But I hope... All right. No, actually, I don't hope Black Ops 6 is like that because when I play Black Ops, I do not want to play any competitive mode. I just want to. I mean, the
mastery is what you want in Black Ops, right?
Yes.
You want to be able to show people that you're good without going, my rank reset last season. I don't want to grind it back.
Well, at least for me, when I would play Call of Duty, and I've like the last Call of Duty game I played consistently was Black Ops 4, I guess, but really it's Black Ops 3. Was like if you saw someone with dark matter, you're like, that guy plays the game. that guy games. Yeah. But now, I don't know. Maybe it's all bad. Stuff.
I hope it's cool. I'm really hoping that it's good. I would love to get back into a Call of Duty game and really like it.
Yeah, I mean, Ubisoft just dropped their game X Defiant, right? Yeah. Did you play? I haven't touched it.
I haven't touched it.
I haven't had time, but I've heard semi-good things. But
I think that's been the general consensus is it's semi-good. Okay. I was reading some of the reviews on Steam, and there's goodness. Hold on. Stop. Okay. I read a lot of the reviews on Steam. Yes. And the general consensus is that people are like, they have an issue with some people read the terms of service in the games.
Oh, is it a security thing?
It is a big security thing.
Oh, well, that's Ubisoft.
That is Ubisoft, I know. But it's mixed, and the majority of those reviews are because of how invasive the security issue is. Dang. So like they're taking basically anything you do in the game is being monitored, and they have I cannot recall, because it's been a hot minute since I read them, but the terms of service is anything you create with the game can be then used by the company for their own marketing promotional material, and is
so
their
if you make
own
content.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I would need to think through. I would need to read it, I think, to really.
Yeah, I would. I would
to really have an
too.
opinion on it.
This is just what I read people reviewing it saying.
Yeah, I mean that's insane.
Yeah, that they would go so far as to say, if you make content with our game, we are allowed to use any of your content.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a crazy thing to do right now since trust with game companies is at an all-time low. But also, I think they know that it doesn't matter and people will just check the box anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the only people it truly affects are people who actually make money off of playing the games, right? Yeah. And so for the vast majority of people, it doesn't really matter.
That's true.
But at the same time, it is definitely an overstep.
It's an overstep. It sets a precedent, and it's just people are just going to keep pushing on it.
Oh, I know, yeah.
I mean, we had voice chat monitors, which, at the end of the day, I don't think is too big of a deal, but I don't know. Even that feels a little weird.
It depends on how it's used, right? So like, which game is banning people for just cursing in chat?
I've not heard of that game.
I cannot remember. But they monitor your voice comms. And
I know Overwatch does like Project or Defense Matrix or whatever. But I don't. It doesn't ban you for cursing.
There was one. I can't remember what it was, but it was a competitive game, and maybe it wasn't cursing. Maybe it was talking bad about other people, but it was very loosely defined.
Yeah, and that's the deal. Is like when it's up to interpretation, then you give so much power to whatever representative is dealing with that ticket.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which I don't know.
I mean, obviously, don't be mean to people, but if someone deserves to be yelled at a little bit, they deserve to be yelled at.
Yeah, I don't think you should get banned for yelling at people.
Exactly. You have voice chat in a game for a reason.
Yeah, I think it was mainly due to, how many slurs people let loose nowadays, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, at the same time, just culturally speaking, like, who is really in a position to arbiter that? Other than just saying, you cannot say these words, period.
Yeah.
But then, also, who are you to be in that position to say that?
Well, I mean, if it's their game, they can choose what to do with it.
I agree. Like, obviously, there is text chat, all this sort of stuff.
I mean, Overwatch, like, bans GG Easy, and it's
I know. Like, that's...
Which, it was funny at first, but now I'm just like,
It's like, I can't even trash talk, the other team, but...
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
interesting.
If I want to say GG Easy or your mom's fat, whatever, I want to do it. Let me do it.
I mean, it doesn't stop people. They just find workarounds.
Yeah, you just find...
It never truly stops people.
Yeah, you just find different slang to use.
Yeah. And I guess that's also the thing, is like, it feels weird putting so much resources into that.
Yeah.
When people are just going to they're going to make a new account.
Yeah, don't say GG Easy, say... WPLZR.
What does that mean?
Well played, loser.
Okay, there you go. So, I don't know. It's like, people are going to do it anyway.
Yeah, I mean...
They'll find workarounds. They'll find substitutes.
Yeah, just use different characters, whatever.
Yeah, and like, who knows? It's just where... It just feels like, there's more and more restrictions coming on.
Yeah, I don't know. It made sense for Club Penguin. It does not make sense for Overwatch.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about it. Yeah, the whole young kids aspect. Yeah. But yeah, that's a different thing. Why should they? It's rated T game anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have any moderation with that. But
anyway,
that's the deal with Overwatch, I guess. Interesting. I want to like it.
I like the game. I just want...
I don't think you're open-minded to liking it, though. I would challenge you into saying that you love to hate it.
I do love to hate it. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's fine.
Yeah. It's fine to hate it, but you love to hate it.
I do love
You take great pleasure.
I do.
Especially as a Paladins player. Anyway, that's Overwatch. Yeah. What about, like... All right. Pat, the last episode we talked a ton about the Game of the Year contender.
Yeah.
And I said a lot of things that might have been wrong, specifically about Overwatch, and that's what started this conversation.
Yep.
But how about let's just go to next year?
Okay.
2002.
2002. Starting with the BAFTAs, like we usually do.
Game of the Year, gone through, what was it, 97 to now 2002.
Yep.
2001 last week, 2002 this week. Console's still around at the time.
Yep.
GameCube. Mm-hmm. Was Dreamcast still a thing? Or that might have been dead by now.
It still existed. Atari was still around. Barely.
Yeah, sure.
The Atari Advance or whatever it was called.
Original Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 2.
Maybe at this point, or still 1 maybe, but...
All right, well...
Anyway.
What were the awards?
So, BAFTA still was choosing 3 things.
Yep.
For the console, they picked Halo Combat Evolved because it finally
came out, so no comment.
Yep. For handheld, SMS Chess.
Like the phone, like SMS?
SMS Chess. There isn't even a link to it.
Way to go, Chess.
Exactly. And then for PC, Neverwinter Nights from BioWare.
Man, BioWare.
Yes.
Wow. That's a name.
That is a name. That is a name. I
haven't heard of that one.
I've heard of it, but I've never played it.
Okay. Well, then how about just move on to DICE?
So, DICE Awards.
You got off easy
2002.
this time, BAFTA.
Battlefield 1942.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the OG Battlefield, but it's pretty close.
No, yeah, it was one of the older Battlefields, obviously. But I mean, I have not looked at 2002 games list at all. So hit me with some options I think are better.
Okay, so first off, I want to tell you the top grossing games.
Okay.
So the best-selling games of 2002. Grand Theft Auto Vice City is number one.
Vice City came out?
Yep.
Okay.
Madden 2003.
Yep.
Grand Theft Auto 3 did not come out. That was just a top seller. These are top sellers, not necessarily 2002 games.
Well,
My bad.
You're confusing me.
I know. Spider-Man from Treyarch.
Okay, sweet. Like the old cross-platform Spider-Man game.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets game.
Man. Okay.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 1 came out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sweet.
NCAA 2003.
Yep.
And Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Those are the top selling games. Let's go give you
I
a
didn't
list
hear any.
of,
I didn't really hear any good games
Vice City.
besides Vice City. And some people would say Kingdom Hearts. I can appreciate
the original Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, the original 1 and 2 are probably the best ones.
I think Kingdom Hearts 2 is good.
All right, here's the deal. All right, what I need to do is I need to remove any person or Twitter profile picture I've heard speak about the game. And I can be like, that game is pretty good and a really cool concept. The Square Enix Disney crossover thing.
It's true.
That's a cool concept.
It is.
That's a cool concept. But I want to hear other games that came out because I know or maybe I'll look too, but
Super Mario Sunshine.
Okay.
Metroid Prime.
Ooh, Metroid Prime.
Oh, Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind came out.
I'm surprised that didn't win from DICE.
Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell.
Okay.
Metroid Fusion.
Hey, that's our underrated Game Boy game.
That is underrated.
Really good game. They need to remake that one.
Age of Mythology, which was,
that one just got a remake.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. It did, which I'm super excited for. 007 Nightfire.
Okay.
Medal of Honor Allied Assault, which was on that list of top games.
Yep.
Hitman 2 Silent Assassin.
Sweet. OG Hitman games.
Yep. Blood Rain. Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos.
Okay.
The Spider-Man game, which I think I said. Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Resident Evil 0, which that got a remake, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. The OG Mafia game.
Oh, okay.
Ratchet and Clank.
Ooh, okay.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Now
we're getting somewhere.
Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance. Ruby Sapphire for Pokemon.
Ooh, okay.
There's quite a few in here.
Okay. Let me.
Roller Coaster Tycoon 2.
Okay.
Super Monkey Ball 2.
You're hitting me with amazing
Mario
games.
Party 4.
Not the best, in my opinion, but teach their own when it comes to Mario parties.
Medieval Total War, one of the first Total War games.
Yes.
Which is a classic, and a lot of people still love it.
Would you say that you are in that group of people?
No, not Medieval.
Okay.
I mean, there's others, but I don't know if they're as big.
So here's the names that come to mind. So, Battlefield 1942
is a freaking great game.
It's a great game. All right. Here are my top contenders.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the table for audio listeners because I have to organize my thoughts here.
Yep.
And I'm shuffling things around in my head. Kingdom Hearts 1 is up there. Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire are amazing games.
Yep.
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I mean,
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Those are like my top contenders in my head from that era. I didn't hear a lot of GameCube games though.
No, I didn't.
In your list.
No.
So
Did you say Vice City in the tabletop
Yes.
list?
Oh yeah, Vice City as well. Yeah. I think what stands out to you on that list? I want to
Vice City.
Yep.
1942. Ratchet and Clank is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I would not ever pick Kingdom Hearts. as the winner there.
Okay.
All
right, because
but
what you have failed to mention, sir, is Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which is amazing.
Am I crazy? Can't picture that one.
And that's really it.
Oh, yeah.
Wind Waker.
Yeah, this one. Yeah,
Metroid Prime was really good, but I don't think it would beat any of the other things.
Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind.
That's right, Morrowind 2.
Yeah.
All right, this one might actually be pretty tough for me, because for me, there are a couple titles that I think beat Battlefield 1942.
So I've played Battlefield 1942.
Yep.
Played Morrowind. I played
about half of Morrowind.
I've played about half of those games on the list. I played Vice City.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, most of the classics.
Yes.
So, okay. So I'm thinking objectively here.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefield 1942 was the first. I shouldn't say first definitively, but first like large scale PvP, but it's a cooperative PvP.
Yeah.
Because you and your team have to control objectives. Almost all PvP games before this was completely like TDM, anything like that.
Yep, very small, very contained. Battlefield 1942. Was it
Big
really the
maps.
first, like...
I think
it was.
You could also drive tanks. And
it makes a good case.
It makes a great case, especially since I think it was one of the first.
Yeah.
And graphics aren't great, but it arguably
for the time
would feel like it would hold up, because I think it holds up against like Battlefront 1, the original.
To me, they're kind of on the same level.
They are, which Battlefront 1 came out after, obviously, 1942.
Yes.
Which I still really like Battlefront 1. Obviously, it was bested by Battlefront 2, but...
Yes. Man, all right.
And Vice City, too. And Morrowind. Like, as for RPG games, Morrowind is one of the OGs.
Okay. For my personal enjoyment levels, I will just say I like Wind Waker more than any of the games we talked about.
Yeah, but that's fine.
I want to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Now I will completely disregard it for the rest of the episode.
Yep. That's fine. We push that aside.
Push it to the side.
That's a very enjoyable game.
It's Morrowind, Vice City, or 1942.
Yeah, I think so. Because as fun as a lot of the other games were, they weren't those three names.
Yes. I personally think Kingdom Hearts is like right behind, but
I mean, it was a collab that
Kingdom Hearts kind of like transitioned everything into an action RPG.
That's true.
So, and Kingdom, like, at least in my head, that seems so big, but and their collaboration with Disney was huge, but I don't think it's the better game than those three.
Yeah,
I would not. That's why I'm not really considering it.
So, okay, so pros for each, right?
Yes.
So Battlefield 942 is like the granddaddy of all large-scale PvP games.
Okay.
I mean that
if we're counting Legacy, yeah.
And it also lets you drive tanks.
I do like driving tanks.
Well, it wasn't just a tank game. It wasn't just a shooter game. You could do both.
You could do both, and you could shoot at the tanks, and you had ways to deal with them, and then it felt really good.
Yeah, it felt really good. So, okay, I'm going to put that there.
Yeah.
Morrowind was not as good as Oblivion.
Well, Oblivion didn't exist at this point.
I know Oblivion didn't exist yet. And so maybe I'm tinted by Oblivion because I really liked Oblivion. But Morrowind, granddaddy of like that sort of RPG-esque genre.
Yes.
I mean, it's
your Bethesda-style RPG.
Yeah. Like, it's there. It's good. I mean, I've still seen people play it. It holds up-ish. Oblivion holds up better.
if you're talking about graphics, I don't think it holds up that well. But gameplay, I think, is still the same as ever, basically.
You can get a mod for a retexture that works pretty well.
I should try that out. I was thinking about playing it soon.
You should.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yes.
And then Vice City, which is like one of the Grand Theft Auto games, right?
Yes.
You play Grand Theft Auto, Vice City alongside, GTA 5 alongside. I can't think of the other one that everyone plays.
San Andreas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And so, you know, when you think about those games, right?
Mm-hmm. I keep feeling like I'm forgetting something from 2002, so that's why I keep going back to my phone. But I mean, for me, I think it might just be Vice City. No, wait. See, I keep going back and forth. It might just be Battlefield.
It might just be Battlefield.
It might just be Battlefield. Ah, gosh.
You know, this is so hard, man.
It is. All right. No, yeah, 2002.
Okay, yeah, but...
Shoot. This is... All right, I might say... All right, here's the deal. I want a new Battlefield to come out.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. And I do want to talk about what sequels... We talked about it a bit, but I do want to talk about most sequels we want at some future point. But Battlefield would be on the list.
Yep.
I had a lot of fun with Battlefield 1. And Battlefield 1942 does do the core of what it did.
Yep.
And it might, for me, I have to say DICE.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it up.
You can actually give it to 1942?
I would give it to 1942. And that is my definitive answer.
I see, this is where I'm like, I think it might be Vice City.
And that's a fair opinion.
But
I would never knock that opinion. I think you should be.
I think those.
You should feel good about saying that.
I would hold both of those equally high, and then I would say, based on that, Vice City sold a frick ton of copies.
Vice City did. This is all right. This is actually really tough for me. I keep coming back and forth.
Yeah.
I think shooting people also felt really good in 1942.
It did, yeah.
It just was good gunplay.
Mm-hmm.
It felt big. It felt so big.
It did.
Actually, yeah. When I think about more, I just hype myself up more for 1942. Versus Vice City, it's probably hindsight, but I think, when you're looking at the list of GTA games, it's
third best.
Third best over 4? Over GTA 4?
I don't know.
For me, it's 5, San Andreas 4.
I guess growing up, 4 to me was always the game you played with mods, and you never actually played just 4.
4 was good. 4 was good.
That's just where I stood with it.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I think it's top 5. I don't know. I'm not too excited about it. I'm not too excited about it.
I think that's fair.
Personally.
Out of those games, the one I like the most is 45.
Yes.
So...
Great. I'll give it up to DICE.
Yep.
But Metroid Prime and Zelda just kind of clear all of those options in my head. Like, all right, Metroid Prime in particular, I'm going to... really quick, I think it took the Metroidvania genre and put it into 3D super well. I think it did I just played the remastered version.
Yeah.
About a year ago. Good game. Good game. Underrated game, but it was a GameCube game and it was a Metroid game, so it's going to be underrated because of both those aspects.
Yeah.
What have you even been playing recently?
Minecraft.
Okay.
Been playing
vanilla?
Yep, just Sweet. Vanilla Minecraft. Right. Which, it's one of those things where I've been enjoying end game vanilla Minecraft a lot more than I used to, especially since I understand the redstone and the farms and everything else.
Oh, all right. I need to say something.
Yeah.
That's going to upset a lot of people. I think you don't like playing Minecraft. You like playing the beginning of Minecraft. I think once you get Elytra, then you're really playing Minecraft.
Yeah, that's my thought too, right? Everything up to getting Elytra is an introduction to Minecraft.
And I know there's a lot of people who are like, no, I'm not like that. And that's why your Minecraft stunts only last a week and a half.
Yeah.
That's why you do your yearly 2-week playthrough of Minecraft, because you just like the beginning of it. I think that's fine. You can do that.
Yeah.
That is perfectly fine to like the beginning stages of a game and replay it over and over again. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's like 5-10%
of the game, exactly.
Of the game.
Like, most players don't ever fight the Wither. Most players don't ever... I mean, there's a whole bunch of new content right now. Most players are never going to go to a deep dark and fight a warden.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, the warden has so much health, you're not meant to.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
You find a way to do it.
Find a way to do it. Most players aren't going to freaking do the trial chambers and get a mace.
Yeah, and all right, here's my big picture thought. Thought. To do the other 90% of Minecraft, in my opinion, you need to be creative.
Yeah,
be creative, and I feel like people don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And I think if you have a hard time doing that, or if it's not fun to do that, that is A-okay. You can play Minecraft however you want.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me. I'm just a guy talking.
Exactly. But at the same time, you're like, well, I have to mine so much. Build a beacon. It's
Build
like
a beacon, make farms.
Make farms.
Like, and you're just like, oh, I can't do that. Well, if you're not creative enough to make a farm,
watch a video.
Yeah, we have. It's like, if I have to watch a video and play my game, stop playing the game. Well, just come up with it yourself.
Exactly.
Do something. I don't know.
Like, or build the farm and then decorate it your way.
There's so many ways you can play the game.
Yeah, like
people play the first couple hours on repeat.
Like, we have an iron farm on our world that we just build around, but I have it chunk loaded, which you can build those. They're really simple, and then your farms just work all the time. So we've got like 2 double chests of iron blocks.
Yes. I think I mean the big deal is, and I'll give it this, most people will go in having one big goal in mind typically. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get diamonds, oh, I'm gonna kill the Ender Dragon.
Yeah.
One of those two typically. And then they fall off because they're like, I don't know what I want to do next.
Yeah, you don't have a big picture goal.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I don't think people are wrong for doing that. I think it's more of just the big picture problem of like why. I mean, you're experiencing so much of the game. So you should play Minecraft and try making a big project.
Yeah. Oh.
Or maybe not even a big project. You like being more artistic?
Yep.
Make pixel art.
Yeah, exactly.
Pixel art is cool to make.
So I had
even in survival.
Yeah, and I mean, this is like a really personal subject, because I had asked a friend to like come join and play, and his first thing was, has everything been done already? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, have you guys like fought the Ender Dragon? I'm like, yeah, we fought the Ender Dragon like the first 3 hours. Like, that's not an accomplishment.
Yes.
Like, that's not the end of the game.
Yeah.
I find it weird, all the people who are like, well, we can't fight the Ender Dragon yet because we have to wait for everybody. And it's like,
you can refight it.
You can refight him.
Yeah.
Kill the Ender Dragon and go get your Elytra.
All right. There is merit to the idea of wanting to be there with the people who are playing it, like as a first time deal, because you're doing that accomplishment with your friends or with whoever. But I feel like you can have those accomplishments in other ways too. Like, you build a shop or a building and you show people for the first time. You make a stadium, you play a little mini game for the first time with friends. Those are still core memories and core achievements that it's not in your tree.
Yeah,
that you look at in your advancements, but it's still there.
Build a giant coliseum and beat your friend in a duel. I don't know. Like, it's your choice. Because when I'm building, right, I go and I'm like, man, I really want ink sacks, like glow ink sacks, so I can light up all my signs. And so I go and build a farm for it, right? Yeah. Most people would go, oh, glow squid, I have to go find them and kill them, and you're never going to have enough, and so I'm just not going to ever use that material. And it's like, you're not thinking about it right.
It's the mindset.
Yeah, like my friend just built a tree farm, an automatic tree farm.
With like what, TNT? Or
like TNT dupers.
I mean, it's like the mindset going in is you haven't really. And here's the big deal. You shouldn't feel bad about it. What you should do instead is find something that you'll really like. You know, if you find something, an aspect of the game you really like, and find a way to blow that up in terms of like scale or connecting with friends about it or something like that. Yeah. Then because it's Minecraft, there's so many different ways to do that, but instead it's like, oh, you guys found diamonds without me? Sorry.
I know. And like, obviously I understand joining a server and everyone's in full netherite and you don't know what to do. That's fine.
It's intimidating. Well, it's intimidating, and actually, it gets into the bigger thing of choice paralysis. But you know, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, you know, generally, if you have friends on the server, they'll give you a kit.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they won't. It depends on the person.
It depends on the person.
It really depends on the person.
But I mean, if you've got an iron farm with blocks of iron, just go give someone a stack of iron blocks, and they should be set.
Yeah, you know, it's. You can still enjoy Minecraft. You can still play it for long periods of time. You just need to find what you like about it.
Exactly.
Or even try something new.
And if you really enjoy punching a tree, just go punch trees.
If you really like being, you know, mindless, if you're really into gacha games, try to get fishing. You know, try to get
fishing. That's a gacha game.
Try to like collect all the fish in the books from fishing or something.
Yeah.
You know, there you go.
Go mine out an entire chunk. I'm sure your builder friends would appreciate it.
Yeah. There are a lot of cool farms. Like, I love the redstone part. That's why I love.
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the farms and the doors and, you know, all the different
there's so
ways
many
to
ways.
wire stuff.
There's so many ways to progress things like so quickly. You can build auto sorters. You can build a farm for nearly every single block in the game.
You can just build a cool base.
You can build a cool base.
A big base.
Yes.
That looks cool.
Don't build it all out of cobblestone, please.
Or do and make it look cool anyway.
Or just smelt it and use bricks.
Okay.
they put a stone cutter in the game for a reason.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just, anyway, we're yelling at people for.
I know. I'm yelling I'm yelling at people I know in my head.
Yes, and hoping they hear.
Yes.
You know, yeah, it's cool.
Minecraft. I also started playing Anno 1800.
Was that?
It's a city builder. Set.
I'm out. You lost me. I'm sorry.
No. It's also got warfare aspects.
Okay.
Ship battles.
There you go. There's what you like.
But it's primarily a city builder.
Okay. Like, like, what kind of city builder?
Like, primarily it's like a trading game.
Okay.
So you get set up on a tropical island. It's like Tropico, but 1800s instead of modern. And then you build up an economy, and your goal is to beat all the other AI, so either by buying them out or defeating them in war. So there is like a competition and end game, but you also don't have to do that. You could just play until your islands are massive. So.
Okay. Nice city builders.
Yep.
I'm not the biggest city builder fan.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Depends on the one.
Did you play Frostpunk?
I did a bit.
Frostpunk 2 is coming out this year.
Cool. Like, I've played was it City Skylines?
See, but that's like a casual city builder.
There's not competitive city builders.
Well, Anno's competitive.
Oh, so you're talking like, well, is this like RTS more?
Sort of, because like it can be.
Because those are different categories.
No, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. If that makes sense.
Okay, like you can play it single player and just.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm getting what you're saying.
Or you can have a rival company that you do fight, because you can declare war on someone else. You can take over their island. You can.
Yeah, it sounds like a very spreadsheet kind of game, and that's fine.
Sort of. Yes, it is definitely a spreadsheet type of game where you look at. This thing produces 1 ton of this good every 30 seconds, and I want to put it into this one. And...
I'm glad you're having a good time. I have other games like that I enjoy, but in terms of like top-down city builders, I have found that aesthetic does not tickle me.
Although I do love City Skylines too, so...
Yeah. I don't know. It's nice because there are certain things where like you play a game and then it clicks with you, and then you're like, man, I like this game.
Yep.
And I feel like I'm not that picky when it comes to that, but there are certain subsects of games where I'm just like, this isn't doing it for me. It can be sometimes how it looks, how it plays, you know, the community aspect around it is a big one too, you know. But there are certain moments in games where it's like, oh, that clicked, you know. And city builders, I have yet to find one that does that for me. Yeah. Because the number go up thing doesn't mean much in that to me.
Bigger number, better person.
Yeah, bigger number, better person, or even like city bigger.
Yeah, bigger
looks
city.
Cooler. Yes. I don't know. It's not the sort of deals. Haven't done it for me.
But you gotta like plan out your roads so that everything.
That's the deal. I like winging it a bit more. Well, I like a plan coming into fruition as it's happening.
as it's happening.
Yes.
See, I like the whole, this is where this thing's going to go in the future, and you like to see it like all come together.
Yeah, I like, you know, the moments where you're winging it and then you unlock a new building or something. It's like, oh, that works with that, and then that goes with that. Yeah, so that's. But city builders, I haven't found one that doesn't for me yet.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Maybe give your suggestions in the comments or
give suggestions
or reach out and let me know what city build. What's the best city builder? Because hey, maybe all right here.
The Sims.
Give me a city builder. I'll give it a chance and I'll talk about it next time.
Okay. The problem is I don't want you to have to buy something new.
I am willing to put money, and I don't want to be genre phobic.
Yeah.
You know, I want to.
Okay. So I need to like vet you first on this. Do you like a survival city builder? Do you like an industrial city builder, or do you like the casual city builder?
I don't think I like a city builder with no stakes. So I'll say that first.
So you don't want city skylines?
No, I don't want city skylines. That's all right. I'm gonna need another question because the other things you said don't mean much to me.
so Frostpunk is a survival city builder.
Yes.
There are several like that. Then there's also like the trade city builders. So Tropico, Anno.
What does that mean? Trade city builder.
So you build a city for the goal of like imports, exports, things like transit company,
commerce
or
and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know if that or warfare would be cooler to me, so I don't have an answer.
Well, the trouble is like warfare city builders generally just become RTSs.
Okay.
So I would not.
All right, here's the deal. I don't want to feel like I'm playing Civilization.
Okay. I mean,
I don't want to feel like I'm playing Civilization.
Yeah, that's.
I don't want something with no stakes. So
you want to build a city in warfare? I would just play Age of Empires.
Age of Empires. That's an RTS.
It is an RTS. You get to build a city in it.
But then you don't keep your city, right?
No, you don't. See, I'm really struggling with like exactly what you're looking for. But maybe someone in the comments knows.
Because that's the deal. Because I feel like I want to have stakes, but I don't want to feel like I'm playing Civilization.
And if this is a short, also comment. Please tell us.
Yeah, I need help. I need to break into the genre, and I don't know
how. There is one I'm thinking of, and I can't think of the name. But it's a communist city builder.
Okay.
So specifically, it's...
also, a part that I've noticed about city builders is that there's not really they don't really have a style to me that resonates with me. It feels like either practical... All right, here's the deal. Like, there are games which are serious but either have humor or an art style that I like. And stuff like that, but with city builders, I don't really feel that with either. There's no really like humor, or obviously there's no characters, but I don't really have something else to latch on to besides the core gameplay.
Yeah, no, I hear ya. And
when I don't like the core gameplay, it's really hard. So maybe if there's one that has another aspect that's like, all right,
I'm really trying to think of one. I can't.
That's okay. It's okay. I'll just never come to you for these sort of questions again.
No. I just don't. I haven't played one off the top of my head that fits that criteria.
Okay, and that's fine. And maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe it's an oxymoron.
It might be, because what you're describing just sounds like an RTS.
Yeah, and if that's how it is, that's how it is. And I guess I just don't like city builders.
Yeah, or you want a city builder, or you want an RTS that just takes a long time, so you feel like it's a big city.
But Civ takes a long time. Civ takes a very long time, and I don't want to play Civ anymore. Yeah. What I've played recently, to transition off of that.
Yeah, what have you played recently?
Recently I played a game called Blasphemous. Metroidvania.
Yep.
Came out in 2019.
Yep.
Really cool.
Yeah.
It's got your Dark Souls aesthetic, but even more Catholic.
Yep.
And even more decrepit.
Yep.
And I got all the endings. And I wanted to 100% it, but I would have had to beat the game in extra time, which I know I...
Just do it.
No, but...
Just do it. 100%.
I didn't want
100%.
to. I just didn't want to.
Gold badge.
I was done.
Sorry.
Maybe all right, but maybe it'll give me a reason to come back. Doubt it. But I played that and I beat Dragon Quest 3, so I'm starting Dragon Quest 5, but I'm playing a translated version of it for the PS2. And I'm very happy I did that because when I started playing Dragon Quest, I was like, man, Dragon Quest is speaking to me right now for some reason. I want to play the whole series because I haven't, or I want to get a taste of the whole series. And a part of that I was missing in the early games that I'm experiencing again is the soundtrack.
Yeah.
It has, or at least the PS2 ones, and then Dragon Quest 11 and Dragon Quest 10, I believe, has a fully orchestrated soundtrack. It sounds really good. And I like when I booted it up and I get to the first city, I'm like, oh, the soundtrack. That was another reason that I was missing. Which Dragon Quest 3 does have a good soundtrack. Don't get me wrong. I think the HD 2D remake is going to do fully orchestrated, which I think will be leagues better because there are some good songs in there that, you know, are just crippled by a SNES sound font.
Yep.
But fully orchestrated soundtrack, and it got me thinking about how important the soundtrack even is to games. All right, how? Do you ever just listen to game soundtracks?
Yeah, Frostpunk.
Okay.
In college, I listened to the Frostpunk soundtrack.
Did you do that growing up? Because I kind of got bullied for listening to game sound. All right, now let me say that it was in middle school, and a guy's like, "What are you listening to?" And I show him it's like a song from Yoshi's Woolly World. So maybe, actually, thank you for bullying me, but. I've always loved listening to soundtracks.
I listen to, studying, there's a lot of things you could listen to. So, like in high school, it was not odd to just like throw on Minecraft music or something.
Okay. Because then it goes into different categories because you have, like, you think of The Witcher or Minecraft.
Oh, The Witcher soundtrack is so good.
Yeah, those are like your, they're committing to the background style of music.
Yep.
Nintendo does more of a melodic, like melody-focused style of music, and I've always gravitated more towards that. But I love the other style too.
I like my music to be ambiance, I guess, short of like introductions to villains or stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the game. Like if it's more. If you're going for immersion with your game, like you think of the Skyrim soundtrack, like
they're so good.
They're aiming for like, and even they managed to do a really melodic song with even just the main theme.
Yep, they did. So, well, all of the Skyrim soundtrack, it plays in the background where you can tune it out and you don't notice it, but it still gives you emotion as you play.
Yes,
which is really great.
But I also I say what I like even better is when I notice the songs, I'm like, this is a great song.
Yep.
Especially for more gameplay focused games. Like Celeste has a great soundtrack.
Yep.
Is very focused on being a platformer or even
Hollow Knight has a great soundtrack.
Hollow Knight has a great soundtrack.
It's a different soundtrack for each biome you're in, and they mesh almost flawlessly as you transition between.
The boss themes in that game are also really good.
They're so good.
I love video game music.
I do too.
And I love video game music, but I've always heard it's not real music. You know what I mean?
That's so BS.
I think it's a common sentiment.
But you have to create a soundtrack that holds someone's attention for eons longer than any movie does.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe it's, I don't know about hold your attention, but it's
you have to still feel the same emotion booting up a game that you've played 300 hours in as someone who's going to see a movie.
Yes.
For 3 hours.
Yellow Taxi Goes Room also has an amazing soundtrack. And I listen to many of its songs. But like, I think Nintendo excels at it, to be honest. Because they have many amazing composers working on their...
No, I agree. I think as a studio, they are arguably the best because I don't think they have soundtracks that miss.
No. Like... I love the Xenoblade Chronicles soundtracks. I love the Fire Emblem soundtracks. Yeah. I love, not the Pikmin as much. Pokemon, maybe not the newer games, but their older games have some amazing soundtracks.
Yeah, like you can, if you hear a soundtrack, there are obviously ones where you're like, yeah, I know the game, and you might not even have played the game, right?
I mean, but even
like that's cohesion. So
like Hades,
yes, like Hades.
like
Hades is good.
recognizable soundtrack, very distinct style, and it feels like it is consistent with the game.
Yeah, and even like Mario, very consistent soundtrack between each game, even though they're all different.
Yes. Even though Wonder doesn't have the buzz that the new series had, it still sounds like Mario.
Yeah, and I think Nintendo does that really well. So they have, and I'm sure there's a video out there with a deep dive on like.
I'm not a music theory expert.
I'm not either. But every single game that they put out, like their IPs, their soundtracks are all familiar. You can recognize the game because of the soundtrack.
I mean, they love music so much they put bangers in their shops.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
No one else is doing that. That's for sure. So that's crazy.
Yeah. I think Nintendo does it the best. I do think there are games out there, and I'm really blanking on if I would say it's the whole game, but you said The Witcher, and I love The Witcher. I love Hollow Knight. And I really think Frostpunk has a wonderful, wonderful soundtrack.
Yeah.
Where I would say, you know, like these are peak soundtracks, which there are Nintendo games with peak soundtracks. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not hating on Nintendo here.
No, it's just you don't know.
Yeah, I'm
is the issue.
Yeah, I would like to figure out what like the perfect soundtrack is. Like find a game with that perfect soundtrack.
Perfect for itself, or just like, what do you mean?
Yeah, like perfect for stuff. Like this is the soundtrack, like best soundtrack I've heard that matches the game. There are definitely soundtracks that have been like, this is a banger, but why is it playing in this game?
Dang, that's tough. All right.
Obviously, we don't have to answer that now.
No,
if you have an opinion in the comments, please let us know.
An underrated genre for soundtracks is JRPGs. Because, all right, if you ever get a chance, listen to the Bravely Default soundtrack. It is a 3DS RPG, but it had a fully orchestrated soundtrack that had to play out of those little 3DS speakers. Yep. But it's like hard rock, insane boss themes are amazing. They had the violin players that they had were killing it. Yeah. The Bravely Default series has an amazing soundtrack. Anything, and I haven't even played these games. They're like from Falcom, like the Trails of the Blank series. I swear, that company is a music company first and a games company second. Because the soundtracks they are putting out should not be that good for these games that are selling like maybe 100,000. Yeah. It's insane.
Well, I think, and it comes to your point, if you think the soundtrack is the part of the game that doesn't matter, you're wrong. Because the soundtrack is almost what makes a game.
That's...
It depends. A great game with bad sound design is going to feel bad to play.
I mean, if it's done on purpose.
Well, then that's intent, right?
I don't know. It depends. I wouldn't say it's the whole game. I'm still the believer that the gameplay. Yeah. All right, but here's the deal. You're going to notice bad sound design or bad music more than anything else. Nintendo actually missed super hard with this game called Yoshi's New Island, and it sounded like a baby game because they used kazoos, right? So, you know, you load it, it's like, and it's on kazoos, and it sounded horrible. You know, and it's, you know, it's a joke, it's a meme, because, you know, everyone's like, man, this took me out. I noticed it in a bad way. Yep. So. Yeah, I think, okay, so maybe, you know, maybe the music doesn't make or break the game, right? But bad sound design will break your game. Yes, it'll be very noticeable. Yeah. It'll be like, what is going on?
Which we could have a whole discussion on, like, sound design stuff. I can't remember exactly which shooter it was. I think it was one of the older COD games. But one side thought that their gun was better because it sounded meatier. Oh, so they kept asking to nerf it. Right?
Yeah, but in reality,
it was the exact same gun copy pasted.
Yes.
Like all the stats were identical. But that being said, it was still reflected in their gameplay because the one gun still got more kills.
Yeah. That's funny. Dude, I've actually been playing another game called Robo Beat. And it just came out this year, but it's like it's a FPS rogue movement shooter. Okay. Where shoot on the beat. And
Okay.
you collect songs, but you can also add your own custom songs.
Okay.
So I've been adding custom songs and like playing through because you shoot on the beat and you're supposed to dodge and parry on the beat and stuff like that. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. You should give it a try.
Beat Saber.
That's a good rhythm game. Well, I see rhythm games as separate because then, you got Osu and then, well, maybe we shouldn't talk about Osu. But
Osu. Not going to say what I'm thinking.
all of our very nice thoughts aside, you know what game also has really good sound design? Which is a shame, kind of. Overwatch 2. And with that with that being full circle, I want to thank you guys for watching. Again, if you have any thoughts on a city builder that would meet my requirements, that'd be sick. Please let me know. And also share what soundtracks you love. I actively look for game soundtracks to put in my playlist and stuff. So Persona also kills on
Persona's got an amazing
Persona has an amazing soundtrack. But all right.
Yes, it does.
Let us know what soundtracks you like. We love the environmental. We love the melodic soundtracks. It's really cool. And we want to share in that joy with you. All right.
Okay. I think this is where we're gonna sign off.
I'm about to start beef, but we'll end it on this.
Okay.
Minecraft soundtrack is overrated. See you later. Bye.